up at this stage. Beautiful team eyeing to the north. Tomo goes down. I think that's the second member of Tempest falling victim here. And after a disastrous competition thus far, down in 14th, and I say disastrous because I hold them to a higher standard after some of the performance we've seen. I mean, hell, remember, this was the team of Tempest that got 3 wins in a row. Miramar, Gustav's second one to fall. He was the high fragger coming into phase today. He is a bit of a scout, so, you know, I can understand why he's death and will be disconnected from the rest of the team. He likes to find phase a place to work from. But again, a second player back-to-back is not going to do them any good whatsoever when they're fighting up against the rest of these teams. This 21 points today is so fragile. We cannot not stress it enough. There is so much on the line for this competition and so little amounts of room to play with on the scoreboard and also on the map at the moment as the circle does center up. So, for the Northern Lights, that was a damn good play.
Yeah, FaZe's 8C did go for the same thing, but, well, speaking of 8C, he's quite alone. FaZe is pretty far away from this. You can see him in the distance, so 8C has to back away from this. Now, for the Northern Lights, they will probably be surrounded on all fronts, so I do wonder how they're going to deal with that. Na'Vi and Tornado Energy, big battle. Kemba already going to claim 1 to his name. That's only the knock. He got the kill earlier. Got to be careful with how he plays this. Now surrounded on both fronts. Can't handle it. As Quizzy and Example get involved in the matter, fire from further away, going to keep each team on their toes. But for now, Na'Vi get taken out of this compound, and Besto and Tab simply couldn't get there in time. I don't know where Bestalock is. It must be nearby, probably on the same sort of hillside. But Tornado Energy, that could have been clean. Tab at least takes one with him and continues the pressure back towards Tornado Energy. So some of those big teams, you know, we talked about Tornado Energy, your FaZe, losing, and obviously Na'Vi, losing a couple of players early on is going to be pretty brutal.
Is Northern Lights Liquid. That is just a stick of dynamite waiting to explode, to be honest. Especially when you look towards Liquid and Northern Lights.
Like, okay, so the more central point is Eastern on that, obviously, right? So Liquid kind of hold a lot of the cards there. I'll come back to that. Yeah, now BSD did just find Rustamar, so I want to keep my eyes on Ents because they're also one of those people up towards the top here. Now, the Wildcats are certainly close by to them. A couple of the teams could cost them. Rustamar has not been flushed yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets called out. Very open area. So again, this could be a real issue for them. And She Created, that's a big name, pushing this as we speak. So keep your eyes on that kill feed. It could happen. Unity in dire straits. But again, Unity are in 14th. My eyes are starting to look towards the top of that table. If you aim within that top 8, I'm not going to be paying so much attention to you unless you do something magical. And Set almost did that yesterday. That kind of 2v1 sort of crazy scenario that happened. And yeah, Rustamar just about getting knocked again. Set there, nice handling onto one. The nade found Arb, and Set again! This man is just the Terminator. An individual god play, just taking down game frame single-handedly. But still Set all alone. So as much as one man can make a big difference, it's never going to be easy to translate that into bigger results. It's why Unity sadly are in like that 14th position way down at the bottom. If only the rest of the team could deliver that sort of play. But for now, we've got to think about Ents in...
From this cleanly. Headshot comes through on the back of the Marauder, but he does get away with his life and escape it. Smokes will be down. They're outside of the zone. And there's one thing we have to be aware of. Omicron are currently not in. They have to make the moves here. So the smoke wall can begin to be put up. I'm seeing smokes come from an off angle on the left-hand side. That's probably T-Bone. Maybe trying to pincer Tempest and just get them away from Omicron to give them a clear point of entry, but this could be bad. 2 players back of the bike. Knocks one, comes through. Squeaky goes down in the kill feed as well. Jempty stepped up, and all of a sudden Tempest, well, they're getting flooded. Look at this. No. Pixels holding on for dear life, but the molly, it's so deadly. 2 players fall simultaneously. One of them's burnt at the wayside. T-Bone has Page in front of them. Jempty, can you stay alive here? This is so bad. This is not good. Steps on one. Pixel, what are you doing? You're breaking them alive. This was not supposed to happen. Oh, no, no. Second place is demolished and goes down in 12. It's mutual destruction, but my word, that was a team in the top 7. That was one looking good for this competition. Sub 10th place is just not
in their way, and here's the pull-up. Look at this from Batulins. 1, comfy, wait for more. They're just feeding. It's just so easy for this man. And sadly for the other two, it went no better.
Good
You had
God.
Spyro waiting on the other side. Now you've got Fuzzface knocked and Northern Lights looking pretty deadly. Liquid hold the circle edge though. So as much as Northern Lights might want to get FaZe out of here, they also have to consider, okay, we've got to get past Liquid. How do we do this?
Lauren, let's just think about this. Our top 3 teams have all gone down sub 10th position. Like, that's where the jump up started to happen, right? At the 118 mark where Omicron had. Oh, this is crazy. This is making it even more wilder and more tighter at the top. There's space and an opportunity for Na'Vi to do a little bit of damage. But remember, they lost 2 players at the start. They do have a good position on the circle, but really, what can you do when you have 3 technically in the same area as them? That's a ton of points if they can make it happen. If they can get involved in this. Oh, wow. This could be a huge...
They can catch FaZe or Liquid.
TSM have so much safety as well, Lauren. That's the most important thing. No one's basically behind them. The bullets, they begin to rain down from above. For some, this will be hellfire. For TSM, it could be heaven. We'll see how it unfolds as FaZe, Liquid, and Northern Lights, well, we'll see who goes down first and who'll be picking up the points afterwards.
It's a godsend that for some reason Wildcats aren't landing these shots as cleanly as before. Now they are. Here we go. This is going to be a FaZe have gone down. They're out in 9th. It's down to Liquid trying to stay alive and the Northern Lights trying to leave this compound. But they're losing out on players. K-Mine just can't make it out of this area. They're stuck in the blue. They're stuck in the smokes. There is so little to work with. And now Northern Lights are in that predicament. Do we turn and fight? Is this the best chance for us? Get a couple of points while we can. And I think that might be the play as everyone else is falling. Tab's just gone for Na'Vi. Vex just found Jeems. And it looks like for now, with Batulins finding Jeems on the flush, how many are left for Liquid? It might just be 1. I think it's just Mexi at this point, still barely alive. And Northern Lights have somehow come out the better of this, but for how long? You've got to feel there's a moment in which this will all fall apart. And, well, Batulins is still alive. He's not in yet, but he's at that very foot of the hill. So, again, this could still be Northern Lights desperately trying to hold on to the slimmest of margins, anything they can do to try and jump any of these teams. Batulins goes down, that's 11, and there, Liquid have fallen. So for now, Northern Lights are still putting up numbers. They're still clawing on and holding on to this as best they can. It's just Spyro trying to beat the blue as it stands, but TSM, what's your plan from now on? I love the fact they've had Iroh out there. They've had, Fex keeping hold of that south side. It looks like Northern Lights should be losing out soon. I don't think Spyro can out-heal this one. No, he cannot. But he doesn't give away points. And that's how they jump to first place. Northern Lights up in first, 122 points out of this. But now the game becomes, how much can TSM do? They're in 6th. They're in a very strong position. They can farm some points here.
They can. More importantly, they could be beating broken teams here. It all depends how IW's fight goes with Redline. If anything, it's just going to be a distraction, but there was a shot from the side. Miracle goes down. Rupture moves on to Michael as well. Will they get the revive? Yes, they will. They'll hit it for now, but Ibis is lurking slowly but surely. Listens, hits him in the face, goes for the follow-up. Beautiful shot comes through. And IW instantly is just removed from the map. We move on board with TSM. Miracle's back on his feet and they're looking toward the side of Blaze. Blaze, the next ones who will move into Redline from the backside. For TSM, this is a great game thus far. Position, placement, but how many more kills can you pull out of this one? If Red...
Wait and see. Iroh's found Rip. Yeah, there's only so many angles available to Blaze. That's a problem. You can't be safe from both sides. And for now, they're more worried about Redline. If Redline do come over to this side of the hill, then Blaze are in trouble. But now I want to wonder how TSM want to approach this. Because if they go on the eastern side, obviously, they're going to get spotted out by Blaze. And then Redline can pick away at them. They go towards the west. It's a little rough of a run. The cover's just not there, really. So I'm wondering what TSM's plan is. And I don't see much utility on Iroh anymore. 6 kills already, though. That is very good signs here. But again, for the likes of Redline and Blaze, they don't have to move. They're somewhat comfortable. If I'm TSM, I'd like a bit more ground to play with.
I suppose they can work with the trees and the little bumps on the side of this cliff face. Redline is still holding point for now. For Blaze, they'll all just to lay down and see who makes the first mistake, to be honest. There's other options, I suppose, for TSM if they want to take it down low, but then they become open to the vision that Redline will have by the elevation they will get on the top side of this one. For a while now, Fex has been just hanging back, holding Redline and keeping information so they can't be swept. No cheeky players come across from the left-hand side and just come behind. Like a huge flank would be devastating for TSM, but given how it works and how this whole ridge moves, it'll be devastating. That's devastating itself. Apocalypse. Good long ball grenade coming out of Michael. Has to confirm it, which he does. You could see his health already dropping down. That's because TSM know instantly. If anything's going to move, they're going to shoot at it. Everyone slowly will be pushed in. Ira's gone a little bit further afield to give TSM more of a bit of a lifeline within this circle, because it is Blaze that hold the most central area, so everyone else will have to work towards them. But with Lipsid and Lazar laid down, again, with the moving, the guns will be put away, so they're just sitting ducks should they get caught. You have to be stood. When you're laying down like this, you literally cannot move. You move left or right, your gun gets put away. Smokes are down. So the first and probably only little bit of utility that TSM was holding has been committed. Once Redline come over that lip, Lauren, I mean, for me, they're completely open to the elements. There's no cover whatsoever, while TSM can actually use the trees.
Yeah, exactly. TSM have those trees for a little bit, and they can keep Ira a little bit further back. Redline are going to opt to go on the other side of the hill. It's completely open. It's a last-ditch attempt, and it's all they can work with. Michael down to a one-shot. Ivers on the back foot, but Blaze being quiet in this. This could be the moment for Blaze to be that third party, maybe wanting another knock before they get involved. This could be what they're holding back on, utilizing those smokes to try and play late. Lazar's getting mobile, though. You could see him potentially considering options. Ivers still stands, and Michael going on the revive here, and there's simply not enough grenades or anything utility-wise the TS can put down. There we go, a couple more being put through now, trying to keep them further back. This is nice from Vard, a little individual, but you got to try and make the plays. I like it. Right next to Iro as well. Molly's on Ivers, gonna see him. That's Ivers gone. Deleted. Where's the rest of them? Oh, Vard flashed up, gotta be careful, hits the deck. And where is the return fire? Fex is right beside him. They've ignored Blaze and gone, right, Redline. That's the target. Marv did answer back and find Vard, but Michael still stands, and this man's deadly, but not deadly enough today. Two teams left, and we know who they are. Blaze on the other side, TSM on the hill. TSM to 3, and Blaze with 2. Lipsin and Lazar. The LNL combo gonna have to go big. Iro oversteps. That's a mistake, and it's a rare one. You don't often see it. Now it's just down to one man. Fex has to go big, or it's a loss, and this would be tragic. TSM on the point grind, and they might have just fumbled in the last second. Lazar sees him. Lazar gets him. What a mistake at the end from TSM, but great work from Blaze to capitalize on that. But I really did not expect to see that one going down the way it did.
There has to be that trade-off, right? And you touched on it ever so slightly, how TSM said, okay, with the target's Redline, we have to commit to this. By taking them out, you guarantee yourself the placement jump, you guarantee yourself 3 points. They did it, come out from the bottom side, and it was the pincer. It was the right time to go, okay? Third party, let's get involved at the right moment. Maybe Ira just overstepped a little bit too much. Maybe he just didn't have the angles, to be fair, realize where those two players was. They were so quiet for so long. They just laid down, did not show themselves. What's most important about this one with Blaze, remember, they were the first team that was outside of that 100-point club. 10 points them instantly takes them to 94, plus any of the kills that they've got through for this. With our top 3 going out, sub, you know, all the cards have to align in the right format, but with going out sub 10th position, that's potentially another.
That's right. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Sims. Blaze sets the hill alight. They get themselves the victory here going up against TSM. I was all but ready to say, you know, the TSM win is on the way, but Blaze, with their sneaky plays, are able to take it out. And actually, it wasn't just sneaky, Toby, when we look at this highlights from this game. It was smart plays as well. What do you think, Toby?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they were playing it well throughout. They knew when to be aggressive and when to hold their horses. And I think also what Pansy and Sims highlighted in the end of it, I mean, the only way they had a chance to make a play in the end game was by not doing anything. If they started, they knew they were like the ham and the sandwich. They knew they had opponents on both sides, and as soon as they do anything except for being prone, they would get killed. So the more, like, they were being present without doing anything to enough of an extent that they were forcing Redline to go on the other side. So they essentially functioned as landmines. Redline didn't want to go through, which ended up winning them the game in the end of it. So really, really smart plan. This one by Set as well. Nade, then Hipfire Mini, and then Hipfire or just regular M4 still. Nice 1v3.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff there by Set. But just in general, Martin, whilst we're watching this can play out, and Batulin's getting some big knocking kills on towards Ents here as well as they crash down the hill. The ending, actually, it's very rare I see this circle, and it made for an interesting dynamic between these teams.
Yeah, and like with this, where we have the separation where the top of the hill is like in the middle of the circle nearly, I really love that. I gotta say though, BLZ did pull up on this compound here because they knew that Tornado Energy and Na'Vi had fought, so it was just perfectly well executed to take that compound. That then ended up being so close for them to actually be able to run up the hill on that. That was super well played. I really love how Ents were able to show us how not to do a Hail Mary here in the center, because that was way too late of a Hail Mary. They should probably have pulled up somewhere else or try to fight TSM on the south. Unfortunate for them though, but nice cover by NLT. I would say though, this was obviously perfect by BLZ. They had to wait. They had to wait for these two other teams to fight. There are only two guys alive, and it ended up being a very costly fight for TSM with losing one knock, and then Lipson and Larsa get a knock each, and then they're just in a 2v1 with Fex half HP. Super well executed by BLZ. Yes, 5 kills, but the kills that they got was from the pull up to the compound that they knew that they had to do their late game play from, and then the few kills in the end here, super well executed by BLZ.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see how many points they got themselves. 15 points up towards the top, but TSM will still tie that position as they got 15 points as well with the 9 kills. They were able to accrue Redline getting 8 kills. And it is important as well that we're seeing some of these teams down towards the bottom side, Toby, actually accruing as many points as possible, because not only do we have the eventual 6 invited teams going into PCS2, but also teams qualifying from this going into PCS2 as well. So there's definitely spots to fight for those guys down at the bottom too.
Oh yeah, I mean, while I've learned not to try and take anything for granted in PUBG, because I always get proven wrong, I still want to say, if we take for granted that Redline is the Wildcats and BLZ won't go out having absurd, insane days today and win the tournament, it's also really good for the teams that we talked about earlier that fell out early. I mean, we lost Tornado Energy earlier. We lost teams like, I think FaZe didn't get any points at all in this game. That's a sigh of relief for them, seeing the other top teams not really going out and doing a lot either. So kind of a freebie in that sense when all the teams fighting for the trophy in the top have equally poor games.
Yeah, and even Quizzy actually getting himself 4 kills off the back of what was going on in this game. Tornado Energy did not have a great game by any means, but at least got some things done. But Fex, big damage, along with Iro and Vard as well coming in here, Martin. These names, Fex especially, keeps ringing true up towards the top.
It's the classic dragon-like, right? The Welsh dragon, sometimes you go quiet, slither along, and then you just spew fire and kill everybody and do damage to everyone. That's kind of Welsh. He's very Welsh and very Fex-like. He's very calm, collected. He's a laid-back and super nice guy. And then when he starts playing PUBG, he spews fire everywhere,
Yeah, that's all the Welsh people I know, in fact. All
exactly.
fire breathers. Thanks, Martin. I feel like I'm back home 10 years ago. But anyway, let's take a look at the overall standings. Northern Lights is the one to actually jump up into first place. And as much as it says
so
3
close.
positions to move,
Wow.
not that much. And BLZ is almost 100 points up as well. It is insanely close over here.
We have 6 teams within 7 points. This is absurd. This is utterly absurd. We've never had a tournament with 4 games to go with a scoreboard this close, this late in the tournament. There's always been that one team that just has the perfect run in the final, or that really manages to separate themselves early, or just at least 2 or 3 teams fighting for the top. The fact that we have almost, I want to say, the entire left side of the leaderboard with BLZ getting a good win there, in a potential run for the top with just 4 games left to play, this might go out being one of the best PUBG tournaments we've ever seen.
Yeah, and all the other regions as well have not disappointed with how good they have been. And I think Europe is just stacking up right now, Martin, to look phenomenal as well. Because it's just, as you say, it's just so close. Nobody can call this at this point. Nobody.
No, it's impossible. It's a BO4. It's 7 points. Even Faceland or BLZ at this point, they could have an amazing game with other guys having mediocre games, and they'll be right back at it. But essentially, a BO4 for 6 placements it's a massive difference of money. Obviously, they the placements in between 1, 2nd, 3rd. It takes so much money like cuts off that. So I want to say though also, it's our top 11 that is gonna make it, because we obviously don't have Raise Your Edge here. I just realized, so we don't have Raise Your Edge, and we're gonna have these invited teams as well for that. So look how close that it is on that bottom there, and that's gonna be super interesting as well to follow. I really like the details there on your 3D green screen, James. I gotta say.
Oh, thank you very much. It's not a green screen, and I'll have you know that you're gonna visit me soon, and that's gonna. God damn it! Everybody's gonna believe it's real. They've got to believe it's real. It is real. Anyway, regardless, we're going into our second game, and it is going to be Miramar once again. And as these two gentlemen to my left have said, it is so damn close. Anybody could take this here. And of course, those top 11 spots, if not Team Liquid, Na'Vi, ENCE, TSM, and FaZe stick around there, will also be qualifying through to PCS2 Europe, which is all exciting. God, there's so much good PUBG. There's so much good esports. It's time to get into Miramar. Another good game. Sims and Pansy, bring us the plane.